In early 1940, France was considered one of the most powerful nations in Europe. Its army was large, well-trained, and supported by strong allies like United Kingdom. Many believed that if Adolf Hitler attempted to invade Western Europe, the French army would stop him. But within just 6 weeks, France collapsed. The speed of the defeat shocked the world. During the First World War, France had fought Germany for 4 brutal years. Yet in 1940, German forces defeated them in little more than a month. How did this happen? To understand the fall of France, we must look at Germany's bold strategy, the mistakes made by the Allies, and the devastating impact of modern warfare. After Germany invaded Poland in September 1939, Britain and France declared war on Germany. But surprisingly, very little fighting took place in Western Europe for months. This strange period became known as the Phony War. French troops stayed behind the massive Maginot Line, a series of powerful forts and bunkers built along the German border. The French believed these defenses would make it nearly impossible for Germany to invade directly. Meanwhile, Britain sent soldiers to France as part of the British Expeditionary Force. Many military leaders expected a slow and defensive war similar to the trench warfare of World War I. But Germany had no intention of fighting that kind of war. German commanders developed a daring invasion plan known as Case Yellow. Instead of attacking the Maginot Line directly, German forces would invade Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. This would force the Allied armies to rush north to defend those countries. But the real German attack would come from a completely unexpected direction. German armored divisions would push through the dense forests of the Ardennes forest. French commanders believed the Ardennes were too difficult for tanks to cross. Because of this, the area was lightly defended. Germany planned to exploit that mistake. On May 10, 1940, Germany launched its offensive. German troops invaded Belgium and the Netherlands, exactly as the Allies expected. British and French forces quickly moved north to help defend those countries. But while the Allies focused on the northern front, German tanks were secretly advancing through the Ardennes forest. Moving quickly, German forces crossed rivers and pushed deeper into France. Soon they reached the Meuse River near the French town of Sedan. This was where the decisive breakthrough occurred. At Sedan, German forces launched a powerful assault. The German Air Force, known as the Luftwaffe, bombed French defenses continuously. The air attacks destroyed communication lines and terrified many soldiers. German engineers quickly built bridges across the river. Then the German tanks moved forward. French defenses collapsed faster than expected. Within hours, German armored divisions were racing westward through the French countryside. This was the full power of Blitzkrieg, or lightning war. Instead of slow battles, German forces used speed, coordination, and surprise to overwhelm the enemy. As German tanks continued moving west, they reached the English Channel. This created a disaster for the Allied armies. British and French troops fighting in Belgium suddenly found themselves cut off from the rest of France. They were trapped. Hundreds of thousands of soldiers were surrounded by German forces. Their only possible escape route was the small port city of Dunkirk on the northern coast of France. The situation looked hopeless. German forces were closing in, and Allied soldiers were running out of time. But Britain launched a massive rescue operation known as the Dunkirk evacuation. Hundreds of ships crossed the English Channel to rescue the trapped soldiers. These ships included not only naval vessels, but also fishing boats, cargo ships, and civilian boats. Over several days, more than 330,000 soldiers were evacuated from the beaches of Dunkirk. Although they had to abandon their equipment, the rescue saved the core of the British Army. But France was now almost defenseless. With the Allied armies weakened, German forces pushed deeper into France. The French army struggled to reorganize its defenses. Cities began falling one after another. Millions of civilians fled their homes as German troops advanced across the country. Then, on June 14, 1940, German troops entered Paris. The fall of the French capital signaled that the war in France was effectively over. Only days later, France requested an armistice with Germany. The surrender took place in the Campine Forest, in the same railway carriage where Germany had signed its defeat in World War I. For Hitler, the location was symbolic revenge. Under the agreement, Germany occupied northern and western France. A new government known as Vichy France controlled the southern part of the country but cooperated with Germany. France, once one of Europe's most powerful nations, had fallen. Several factors explain why France was defeated so quickly. First, Germany's strategy completely surprised the Allies. The attack through the Ardennes was something French commanders did not expect. Second, Blitzkrieg tactics allowed German forces to move faster than the Allied armies could react. Third, Communication failures and confusion among Allied commanders made it difficult to organize a coordinated defense. These problems combined to produce one of the most dramatic military defeats in modern history. By the summer of 1940, Germany controlled most of Western Europe. Only one major power remained standing against Hitler. Across the English Channel was United Kingdom. Many believed Britain would soon surrender, but Britain refused to give up. And in the next episode, we'll explore why Britain continued fighting when the rest of Western Europe had fallen, and how the battle for survival was about to begin. The next episode is even more shocking. Subscribe now so you don't miss it.